up, manifesting all of the signs that are associated with this stress response, especially shutdown in growth and repair. And this is one of the biggest problems associated with the SSRI drugs, the serotonin reuptake drugs that keep serotonin's activity high in the body. They keep serotonin levels high in the brain. This problem with the serotonin reuptake inhibitor drugs is you got too much of the stress management hormone, and serotonin partially is responsible for vigilance and alertness, and this is why you get the side effects of the serotonin reuptake inhibitors that we hear about in the papers and on conspiracy radio programs, the side effects that are associated with violent behavior and rage and murders and mayhem and suicides and suicidal thoughts. These side effects are connected to the fact that serotonin increases, upregulates the body's ability to handle stress, upregulates alertness, upregulates vigilance, upregulates awareness, upregulates blood clotting, upregulates hypertension and high blood pressure, pretty much upregulates all of the signs associated with stress. We'll continue this discussion when we finish up tomorrow and on Monday. Our talk on serotonin and on the SSRI drugs. All right, 866-582-9933 is our phone number. Time to hit the phones. Let's go to California and welcome Helen to the Brightside. What is up, Helen? Good morning.
Hi. I have a son who was diagnosed with diverticulitis. In fact, he had a puncture, and he was in the hospital for 5 days on a intravenous thing.
Okay. How old's your son?
He's 58, and
okay.
he's tall and he's very thin.
Well, your son's got some. If he's 58 and he's dealing with diverticulitis, it didn't just happen. He's had digestive problems his whole life. And you may know that, you may not know that. The point is that diverticulitis is a digestive problem. It's the diverticuli are these little tiny pouches in the intestinal lining, and when you eat the wrong food over the course of time, they can become inflamed, they can become infected, and this can be a very, very painful and very serious and even life-threatening condition. Itis means inflammation. Arthritis, conjunctivitis, diverticulitis. Whenever you hear itis, you're dealing with an inflammation. Whenever you're dealing with an inflammation, you're dealing with an activated immune system. Whenever you're dealing with an activated immune system, you're dealing with a defensive response. The immune system is the body's defense system. So when you have an activated immune system, when you have inflammation, something has gotten into the body. Something has gotten into the body that the body perceives as an enemy, that the body perceives as an invader. The body thinks there's an invasion going on, and it kicks in. The defense system kicks in. Sort of like when a enemy airplane comes into the United States airspace, the local Air Force bases will scramble fighter jets to escort that enemy plane out of the airspace. It's basically the same thing that happens in our digestive system and in our body when the body is invaded by foreign enemies. Foreign enemies meaning stuff that's getting into the body that shouldn't be in the body, and usually that's coming in through food. Now, if it's in the digestive tract, it's always coming in through food. You don't breathe something in and things don't get in through your skin and then enter into the intestine and cause diverticulitis. So diverticulitis means something has gotten into the digestive tract through food, and the digestive system is rebelling. It's defending itself. Does that make sense? You follow so far, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. So we have a defensive response. Now, what are the most likely suspects? What are the most likely foods that will cause defensive response in the body? Well, it turns out it's processed food, it's white bread, white rice, most of your processed candy bars and power bars and breakfast cereals and chips and pretzels and crackers. These are the biggest suspects when it comes to all digestive problems, but especially diverticulitis. Diverticulitis, by the way, is not the same as diverticulosis. Diverticulosis is an extremely common problem. Diverticulitis is when food gets caught in these little pouches and you get an infection or inflammation. So diverticulitis can be considered a defensive response, an immune response. It's so easy to treat, ma'am. It's so simple to treat. First of all, you want to eliminate solid food for a little bit until everything calms down. down. Keep him on bone soup, on the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, on vegetable juices until the infection calms down, until the acute situation resolves itself. That's step number one. Does that make sense? Do you follow that, ma'am?
Yes.
Let me just say one last thing. Okay, one more thing, and I'll let you, and then we can continue. I'll answer your question here in a minute. So first and foremost, you want to eliminate solid food until the situation calms down a little bit. Now, your doctor's not going to tell you that. So it's going to be something that you have to do on your own. Bone soup is wonderful, not just because it's liquid nutrition, but also because it's specifically helpful for the digestive system and for the immune system. So use bone soup, the Beyond Tangy, and also the veggie juices. Then once the situation calms down, then you're going to have to start to make some permanent changes, or your son's going to have to make some permanent changes in his diet, one of which is going to be to gradually increase the amount of fiber that he gets. You don't want to do it all at once if you've got a problem with diverticulosis or diverticulitis. You want to do it. Start off with small amounts of fiber. I like using ground flax seeds. Get a little coffee grinder, grind up 3 or 4 tablespoons of flax seeds every morning, and then small amounts, maybe half a teaspoon of flax seeds every 3 or 4 hours. You don't want to go into any kind of diarrhea or loose stools, and too much flax can cause problems with not just loose stools. It can also cause problems with bacteria. And then the second thing you want to do, there's a lot of things, but the second thing you want to do is make sure he's on a good probiotic supplement, the Nightly Essence from Youngevity. If you can get that, that's great. There's a new Youngevity probiotic that came out just a couple of weeks ago called the Root Beer Belly. That's also a good one. And then a great way to get probiotics or good bacteria in the gut is to use fermented foods, kefir, miso, tempeh, borscht, sauerkraut. You can make your own homemade sauerkraut just by cutting up some cabbage and mixing it in with some starter bacteria. Anything you can do to increase or improve bacteria in the gut is going to help. Hang tight, man. We got to take a break, but we'll let you ask all your questions and complete the call when we come back. So hang on. I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Brightside. 866-582-9933 is our number. We will be back with more good health information right after this. Don't go away.
Hello, it's Tom Chenault from The Tom Chenault Show. We are experts in home-based business and residual income. We show people how to make money from their home, either part-time or full-time. And in partnership with Genesis Communication Network, we've organized a team to fight back about people not having money, time, or health. And we need your help. What we want you to do is, if you've got an interest in building an organization to fight back against people taking our money, taking our time, and taking our health, we want to talk to you. All you need to do is call this number, 855-308-8326. Again, all you want to do is call 855-308-8326. You can make a tremendous amount of money and end up fighting for a great cause. Please call us right now.
So we decided to upgrade the look of our home.
You know, improve the curve appeal.
We decided to add the look of stone to the exterior.
We really like the stacked stone look.
Yeah, but when I checked into the price, it was ridiculous. No way could we afford it.
Then a friend told me about Genstone. Genstone.
Genstone comes in lightweight panels made of polyurethane. They've actually engineered the hassle out of installation. No mortar, no mesh. It was easy. Even I could do it.
We just screwed the panels to the wall and it looks like stone. I mean, it really looks like stone.
Yeah, from the box to the wall in minutes.
We love the look of our home now.
And Genstone is durable, comes with a 25-year warranty, and offers additional R-value for insulation.
If you want the look of stone at a price you can afford, call Genstone
at 855-955-STONE.
Trust me, you'll save money.
And you'll love the look.
855-955-STONE. That's 855-955-7866.
It's hard to imagine, when things are going reasonably well, just how quickly things can change. But what would it take? Economic collapse, massive crop failure, chemical or biological attack? So many situations could find you in the grocery looking to pick up food for your family, only to find that the shelves are empty. There's nothing. Don't let that happen. Act today to make sure that if it ever comes to that, you and your family will be provided for. Visit freezedryguy.com to look at the wide variety of survival foods available. Freeze-dried foods from the Freeze Dry Guy store longer, rehydrate faster, are nutritionally superior to, and taste better than any other long-term storage food available. Visit freezedryguy.com or call toll-free 866-404-3663. freezedryguy.com.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
The nation's largest independently owned and operated talk radio network. The Genesis Communications Network. GCN.
All right, we're back on the Brightside. I am Pharmacist Ben. We're talking to Helen in California about her son's diverticulitis. There's a difference between diverticulosis, which are little pouches that develop in the intestine, and then diverticulitis is when these pouches get infected. Little pieces of food or fecal material can get in these pouches and cause big, big problems. The way you want to deal with it, first and foremost, is by not eating for a while until the situation calms down. Fasting is a great strategy. Liquid nutrition, bone soup, probiotics, beyond tangy tangerine, vegetable juices. The B complex is very important. Vitamin C is very important. The amino acid glutamine can be helpful. And once the situation calms down, increasing the amount of fiber that you get in your system can also be very important. Now, you had a couple of questions, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's been almost a year since he was in the hospital for 5 days, and he couldn't eat anything. He was on IV.
Okay.
And they gave him a lot of antibiotics.
Okay.
And he came out, and he started slowly eating things.
Okay.
But I think he has gluten in
sweetheart, he's got more than that, but yeah, certainly he's got a...
And what I wanted to know, does wheatgrass, he drinks a lot of wheatgrass.
Yeah. Wheatgrass is wonderful.
Does that have gluten?
No, there's no gluten in wheatgrass. Gluten is a sticky gluten is like glue. We get the word glue from the same place we get the word gluten. Gluten is a very sticky, gummy substance, and it literally will gum up the intestines and it will create allergic reactions. So anytime you have a juice, like a liquid, you're not going to have gluten in there because the gluten would coagulate and create a gummy kind of consistency. Juice does not have any gluten. No juices have gluten. Gluten is only found in gummy, grainy kinds of foods. You ever make paste when you were in kindergarten, when you were a little kid? Or
yes.
Okay. Well, that kind of reaction is a gluten reaction. You take flour, you add water, and it forms a paste. That's similar to what happens when you put flour in your digestive tract. A paste is created. This is why refined flour, is such a big problem food. That pasty kind of consistency is similar to what happens in the body when you eat gluten. There's none of that when you do juices, especially wheatgrass juice, which is amazingly nutritionally valuable. Maybe gram for gram, one of the most powerful nutritional substances you could ever put in your body. I don't want to say the most because there's lots of really powerful nutritional substances. Algae, for example, is very powerful nutrition, but wheatgrass is amazing stuff, and everybody would do well to be doing some wheatgrass juice. There is some unusual sugars in there, and some people will find the taste to be a bit objectionable. But other than that, wheatgrass is amazing stuff, and I highly recommend it. But there's lots more he could do. The most important thing is avoiding the crappy food, avoiding the processed food, eating more nutrient dense food, and reducing his intake of anything that causes digestive symptoms, if it's gluten or fructans or anything that's in grains. This idea of gluten sometimes is so simplistic that we miss the point about the problems with grains. Gluten is just one component in grains that's problematic. There's many components in grains that are problematic, and human beings just have a problem with grains. We're not supposed to be eating grains. They're very difficult for the body to process. All grains. I don't care if they're whole grains, and yes, I know there's wonderful